Alright there guys, Merry Christmas and welcome back to another video. Since it's Christmas, just like with last year, it's time for the top 5 anime of the year. This time, top 5 anime of 2023. I'm not going to explain the criteria like I have done in previous years, because the criteria has been altered a little bit after last year. So it doesn't matter anymore. Let's just get straight into it. Coming in at the number 5 spot is Konosuba, An Explosion on This Wonderful World, aka the Megumin prequel series. So, this of course is a good refresher on the Konosuba world before season 3 of Konosuba starts airing next year. This show, of course, takes place before the main series of Konosuba and focuses completely on Megumin, who is, of course, by far the most popular character in Konosuba. She's my favourite character. She's probably your favourite character as well. We get to see more of her backstory, more of her life before she met Kazuma. We got to experience a little bit of Megumin's home village in the Konosuba movie, but that gets expanded upon here. We get to see Megumin meet Yunyun for the first time. We get to see her learn explosion magic for the first time and master it, and put all of her experience points into it while saying swivel on it to the rest of the types of magic that there are. The show, of course, is very funny, as you'd expect from Konosuba. Seeing how Megumin and Yunyun first became friends and rivals is nice, because in the main series, they already were rivals. And finally, 7 years after the first season of the show aired, we finally get to see how they became rivals. So the first half of the season is spent pretty much all about Megumin in the Demon Crimson Academy, learning magic and meeting her classmates, including Yunyun. That was good, but the second half of the season is definitely where it gets better, because Megumin ends up in the town of Axis, aka where she first met Kazuma in the main series. And she meets some very interesting characters. There's this priestess who is desperate for Megumin to join her, basically, cult, and Megumin keeps telling her no. No matter how many times she persists in asking her, she keeps saying no. Of course, something like that in the main Konosuba series also happened, where they kept trying to get Kazuma to join a cult. But towards the end of the show, Kazuma and Aqua start appearing in the background of certain scenes, or their voices can be heard in the background of certain scenes. And the way this was done was so clever, because it doesn't take any of the spotlight away from Megumin. You can just see them in the background doing their thing, because now we've got to the territory of the very first few episodes of the main series. So the fact it shows us that Megumin actually saw Kazuma and Aqua quite a few times before she actually met them. And the show ends in the most perfect way possible. It ends with Megumin introducing herself to Kazuma and Aqua, which is, of course, the very first scene in the whole of the main series she ever appeared in. The thing comes full circle. The final season of this show is the first scene she appears in the main series. And with season 3 of Konosuba finally going to be airing next year, we finally get to see our 4 idiots to get back together for the first time since 2019, which was when the movie came out. And that's why Konosuba, An Explosion on This Wonderful World, comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is Girlfriend Girlfriend Season 2, Now, I covered the first season of this show back in 2021 when the first season aired. I might even put that leave that in that video in the description for you guys to check out if you're interested. So for those of you who weren't, let me give you a quick rundown. There's this guy called Naoya Mukai who basically has been trying since middle school to get his childhood friend Saki to become his girlfriend. And when they get into high school, finally he manages to achieve that goal. Saki becomes his girlfriend. And the turn of events you'd never expect, the very same day that happens, at the end of the school day, on that very same day, a girl called Nagisa confesses her feelings to him. And since this is anime, you know where this is going. There's no way in hell he simply says no because he's already got a girlfriend. Nah, he ends up dating both of them at the same time. And all the hilarious misunderstandings that come with Naoya two-timing both girlfriends at the same time. And there's Saki's best friend, Shino, who is by far the best character in the whole show, and I will die on that hill. And Rika, who is a YouTuber within the show, which is quite funny. So, Rika is in love with Naoya, and Shino, in Season 2, we see that she's actually had feelings for Naoya for quite a long time as well. And Shino ends up living with Naoya, Saki, and Nagisa in Season 2 because she doesn't want Nagisa to be with Naoya, she just wants Saki to be with him. Or more like she wants to be with him instead. So a lot of the season is a lot of misunderstandings between Shino trying to make advances towards Naoya, but then resisting because he's dating her friend. But towards the end of the season, Rika figures out that Shino has feelings for Naoya, so the two of them start a not very wanted collaboration together to try and get some alone time with Naoya each. The show just it creates so many great and funny misunderstandings, and how my favorite character is forcing her way into the conversation to become Naoya's true girlfriend. And I described this show back in 2021 as the harem where everybody wins. There's a show on this very list coming up later on that fits that description even more accurately than this show. But you'll have to wait for that. And that's why Girlfriend Season 2 comes in at number 4. Coming in at the number 3 spot is Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead. This show has had a very, very messy production, to where the first 9 episodes of the show were released, but there was like multiple delays across multiple episodes for the show, and only today have the final 3 episodes of the first season actually been released. Now, at the time of recording, I've not actually seen them yet, but I know they're going to be good. So, Zom 100 starts off with our main character, Akira Tendo, who's watching a zombie movie in his apartment, and he's very, very depressed. Because when he started working at the office job he works at, he was really excited to start working there. He even found love at first sight to a woman that was working there, who funnily enough is voiced by Sora Amamiya, who of course voices Chizuru and from Rent a Girlfriend, and Aqua from Konosuba. But unfortunately for him, she's also their boss's side chick. So his chance of ever being with her is very low. But he's very depressed because he hates his job. His boss constantly hurls abuse at him all the time. He can't remember the last time he actually felt happy at all. So when he's watching this zombie movie, he says, I wish something like that would happen in real life. He wakes up the following morning, and wouldn't you know it, the apocalypse has happened. Now, while everyone else is panicking because it's the apocalypse, Akira is the complete opposite. He's absolutely loving it. He feels free. He actually feels happy that the world has gone to shit. Which, this is the thing with zombie, whether it's movies, TV shows, anime, anything like that, have fun with it, because there's so many types of zombie media nowadays, and so much of it is very similar. If you're gonna have a zombie apocalypse, maybe sometimes have fun with it. That's what this show does. Like Zombieland, the two Zombieland movies. They decided they had two zombie movies, but they had a bit of fun with it. They didn't take themselves too seriously, and the result was two very good movies. That's what this show does. It doesn't take itself seriously. It just has a bit of fun. Akira meets up with his old friend and rugby partner Kencho, and the two of them have a very stupid Daredevil sort of ride on there just to find a TV. It's the apocalypse. You should be thinking about survival. Hell no, I want a big TV. And that's what makes this show shine the way it does. The characters are not taking themselves too seriously, despite the dire situation they're in. And the reason the show is called Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead is because Akira has a bucket list 100. What would you say? I don't know, 100 things long of things he wants to do before becoming a zombie. So he knows he will become a zombie eventually. He knows he's not going to survive the apocalypse. But he's written down a bucket list of things he wants to do before becoming a zombie. And the first female main character of the show, Shizuka, also has a bucket list of her own. But hers is 100 things to do to stop yourself from becoming a zombie rather than before becoming one. She's a lot more serious than Akira and Kencho, which creates a great dynamic between her and him. His bucket list is not to be taken seriously at all, and hers very much is. And in the last couple of episodes, we've also met the other female main character, Beatrix Amenhaus, who is German, and she has blonde hair and blue eyes. Don't know if that was intentional, but I hope they don't mean anything else by that. Just saying. And there's actually a live-action movie that was made in Japan of this show. I haven't seen it, but it is on Netflix, so I can watch it whenever I want. But it's this got made pretty much at the same time as the show being airing. That rarely happens, where a live-action adaptation of something happens the same time the thing it's adapting is also happening. But yeah, we've got a nice Christmas Day present from the studio that made this show, considering the final 3 episodes have all come out today. But yeah, as I said earlier, the production for this show has been an absolute mess. You've had people leaving, I've got delay after delay, which is why it's taken certain months just to get these final 3 episodes out. But even with all that, this has been a wonderful show. And more zombie media needs to be like this. Not taking it too seriously, just having a bit of fun. Not everything has to be panic stations. Oh no, the world's ending, we're all gonna die. Sometimes making light of the zombie apocalypse works just as well as serious zombie stuff like, I don't know, The Walking Dead or World War Z or stuff like that. And that's why Zom 100 comes in at number 3. Coming in at the number 2 spot is the 100 girlfriends that really, 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 really love you. Yes, you have to say the word really 5 times. And this is the show that I was talking about earlier that accurately describes the harem where everybody wins even more than what Girlfriend did. So, I actually made a video about this show earlier this month, which you guys might have seen. So, you know I like this show because I've already talked about it. Once. This show is about a guy called Ijo Rentaro who gets rejected. He has a love confession rejected for the 100th time. I mean, you've got to appreciate the dedication to shoot his shot 100 times in the first place. I've only gone to shoot my shot 4 times. None of them worked, but I only tried 4 times. I haven't tried 100 like he did. And basically, he ends up meeting this godly angel who is a wrinkly old man. He's not the Cupid you're thinking of. He's a wrinkly old man. Ooh, wrinkly old men. And he basically creates 100 soulmates for Rentaro. He was meant to put 1, but he was watching a TV commercial when he was writing the list and he accidentally wrote 100 instead of 1. So what Rentaro has to do is, he will know who one of his soulmates is, because when he first makes eye contact with the girl in question, there'll be a spark that goes off between them. That will make Rentaro know if the girl he's looking at is a soulmate or not. And he ends up having 5 different girlfriends. No, 4. No, I was right the first time. 5. Yeah, 5 different girlfriends across this season. Meaning there's 95 of them left to go. The first one is Hakari, the pink-haired one, who is, of course, my favourite character in the show. She is what you would call a madness. She is very horny, and she don't give no craps. She'll do anything to get Rentaro's attention. The second one is Karine. She is, if you could get the word tsundere, all of the stereotypes of it, and turn it into a person, that's what she would be. She is the most stereotyped tsundere you could ever have, and the show's doing that on purpose. That's what makes it so she's not an annoying tsundere, is because the show knows what she is, and it's playing straight into that. The third one is Shizuka, who doesn't actually talk. She always plays, everything she says, she plays through a voice app on her phone that just says whatever she types in. She is by far the most adorable girl out of the 5, and you just want to hug and protect her. You don't want to see any harm come to her. You always want to be protecting her and be her saviour, because she's so adorable. The fourth one is Nano, who has a very, dead inside monotone type voice. For some reason, I have a thing for that in anime. Girls that have the very monotone, dead inside voices. Don't know why I do, I just do. She basically is like, anything someone says, she calculates its efficiency, even when it's not necessary. And then we had the fifth one is Kurosei, who experiments with drugs. I don't think I'm going to elaborate on that. I'll let you, if you've seen the show, you know what I mean. If you haven't, you'll have to figure it out. She has two different forms. She has this very childlike looking form, which she spends most of the time in. And then she has this much more mature looking form, which is way better. And her, if you know what I mean, grow quite a bit when she gets bigger. And this show really does not care about tropes. Like, there is no will they, won't they. These characters will make out whenever. I mean, all 5 of them have made out with Rentaro already. It's funny whenever Rentaro introduces another girlfriend into the harem, because at first anyone else who's already there in the harem is hesitant. It's gonna get to the point where he introduces a new girlfriend and they're not even gonna be surprised. They're not even gonna question it because it's happening so often. But the reason why Rentaro has to have so many girlfriends at the same time is because the Cupid that told him about this, if any of those girls break up with him or don't become his girlfriend in the first place, they die. That's a lot of pressure to put on him. Oh, if you don't raise up these girls, they die. Oh, well, thanks. That just puts more pressure on me, not them. But probably one of the best episodes of the season so far is an episode where Kurosei puts an experimental and it creates an experimental potion that basically turns them into love-kissing zombies. That's the best way to explain it. Their eyes become hearts, and the idea was she was meant to give it to Rentaro, and then he would want to kiss Kurosei, even though he'd have done it anyway. He didn't need the drug, but the other 4 girls end up drinking it instead of him, and mercilessly chasing him. Shizuka gets some good action in on him. Nano gets some good action in on him. But when Rentaro's running away from Hikari and Karane, he grabs the 2 of them, points their heads towards each other, and makes the 2 of them kiss. And because of the potion, they forget all about him, and the 2 of them just start making out. Yes, I was not expecting it, but this show gives us some nice girl-on-girl action. Yes, please, some Yuri action. And I think I'm going to be actually going to start watching quite a lot of Yuri anime next year. But yeah, this show, it's such a stupid idea, but it's so funny and so anime that it just works. Yeah, I called this show the maddest harem ever in the video I made at the start of this month. And yeah, it is the maddest harem ever. And that's why it comes in at number 2. Now, coming in at the number 1 spot for my top 5 anime of 2023 is... Before that, we'll get to the honorable mentions. I'm making you wait. So, the honorable mentions for this year are Dr. Stone Season 3, Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro Season 2. Still can't believe that came out this year. It feels so long ago now. Buddy Daddies, and Tomo-chan Is a Girl. Those are the shows that just didn't quite make it on the list. But coming in at the number 1 spot for my top 5 anime of 2023 is Spy Family Season 2. Yep, for the first time ever, the very same show has won my anime of the year in back-to-back years. Season 1 of Spy Family won my anime of the year last year, and Season 2 has won my anime of the year this year. Why? Well, It's all because of the girl on the thumbnail, your forger. The season begins with these, didn't actually begin as good as I was hoping, because the season started with two separate stories for every episode. The first half of the episode will focus on one thing, and then the second half of the episode will focus on something completely unrelated to the first thing. Although one of those was quite funny, because it had Lloyd was on a mission, and Bond was the dog. Bond the dog. Because he can look into the future. He looks into the future, sees that Yor doesn't know how to prepare dog food, and the dog food she prepares ends up killing him. He's like, oh god, no, I don't want that. So he goes out, finds Lloyd, and actually helps him with his mission, so Yor won't kill him by preparing horrendously bad dog food. That's the best one out of them. One of them, of course, is Anya rizzing up Damien again. Damien and a few others are playing cards, and Damien's about to pick the card that makes him win. All of this was for a special food item that by the time they'd all finished, all of those items had gone already, which is quite funny. Damien is about to pick up the winning card, then Anya starts crying, which starts rizzing up Damien, so he picks the Joker card and loses on purpose. But yeah, the biggest reason why Season 2 did indeed come in the number 1 spot for Spy Family to make it back-to-back winners of my Anime of the Year is the main arc of Season 2, which has Yor in her Thorn Princess outfit. Yes, we've been desperately needing some more of that. It was severely lacking in Season 1, and thank God we had so much more of it in Season 2. Where she is tasked being the bodyguard for these two people who are trying to escape the country to rendezvous on another ship. There's many people on this cruise ship that are looking to take the two of them out, but because Yor is the badass that she is, she beats all of them, even one that looked like too powerful to beat her. And she loses one of her stilettos, the blades that she uses. Anya finds it and throws it up back to the top deck of the ship, and Yor does her madness and takes down everyone. Yor was so good in Season 2. She got to truly shine as a character in this season of the show. Something she didn't get to do as much of in Season 1, as a lot of Season 1 was more focused on Lloyd. In Season 2, he takes a little bit of a back seat, but he does get his own screen time. He disarms a bomb. Well, actually, he disarms multiple bombs that have been planted on the ship, so he gets to do something as well. But this season has been about Yor Forger, and oh, did she absolutely nail it. She is so damn badass in Season 2. And her getting to do her Thorn Princess stuff absolutely makes the show, Season 2 of Spy Family, worthy of hitting the number 1 spot. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in just less than a week for 2023, a year in review. Until then, catch you later.